Good morning, y'all. It's Joe, and we are back under the shade tree. At least today is less windy, so we won't have that to deal with. And today is just a little project on Kimmy's Jimmy. When I picked up the truck the other day, the right front tire was flat, and we were having issues getting the wheel off. And I'm going to show you how we're going to go ahead and get around that, and I'll explain to you what all's going on. So give me a quick minute, and we'll get to it. Okay, so here's the backstory. When the seller of this truck took it in to get tires put on it, it had the original steel wheels on it, and it had these dog dishes, which I think, I'm not 100% certain, but I'm reasonably certain these are probably 64-ish Chevy Impala poverty caps. And so what happened, it went in with a set of 4, and the tire shop went ahead and lost one in the shop. How they managed to go ahead and lose a single dog dish in the space of less than an hour is anybody's guess. But as a result, the tire shop went ahead and gave the owner of the truck the option of a bunch of aftermarket wheels. They said, hey, here's a selection of wheels that'll fit your truck. Pick the ones you want. And so they got a set of custom wheels and got the remaining 3 dog dishes back. What they chose was these guys right here. Now these wheels are hub centric, and if you don't know what that means, basically the center of the wheel fits tight up against the flange or the hub on the axle. The other day I went to pull this off, and we went ahead and took all the lug nuts off. Wheel wouldn't come loose. Went ahead and hit it with PB Blaster and WD-40 and pry bars and hammers and you name it, it will not come off. It is frozen on. So the aluminum has bonded to the steel hub, and I'm fixing to go ahead and make a homemade gear puller to get this thing off of here to hopefully do it without damaging the wheel any further. So we shall see. Okay, so here we have it, redneckery at its finest. I went ahead and took the safety chain off of the trailer and a piece of pipe and a scissor jack, and here we go. We're gonna pop this sucker off. So here we have my poor man's gear puller, and we're coming up under tension now. We have to go ahead and do this a little bit at a time because I don't have a tripod to put this up on. But you can see what's going on here. The pipe goes ahead and holds the jack centered on the wheel hub, or the spindle hub, and then the jack itself goes ahead and puts pressure against that piece of pipe, which puts tension on the chain, which pulls on the wheel, and pulls on the wheel squarely to go ahead and hopefully get the wheel to break loose from the corrosion. Like that and some PB Blaster and whatnot, I think we should be able to go ahead and get this done without having to take heat to it. Okay, so truth be told, and as much as I am reluctant to go ahead and say this, it's not working. It's not because the concept is flawed. The problem is that wheel is so secure on there that I've reached the point in tension with that setup that I'm afraid that either a piece of the wheel is going to fail and that chain's going to come undone at a dangerous velocity, or that something else is going to happen. I mean, that chain creaks, it's under tension. I've put heat to the wheel, used the big propane bottle and tried to go ahead and get that to expand. I've hit it with more WD-40, trying to go ahead and get it to come undone. That thing is on there. I don't know. And again, this is pure speculation. I have zero proof to go ahead and support it, but I'm almost wondering if somebody at the tire shop didn't go ahead and get a little vindictive. I don't know, but there is nothing at this point that is taking that wheel loose. It's really, really, really well seated. And keep in mind, that piece of pipe right there is welded to the bottom of the jack. So it's not going to go ahead and buckle and come shooting out. The other piece of the pipe is seated over the dust cap on the wheel hub. So again, that part is captive, but the bigger issue is that the tension on that chain is such that self-preservation is kicking in, and I don't want to go ahead and lose my teeth or lose my life or anything else, lose fingers, lose limbs, whatever, just to go ahead and get that wheel off. There's going to have to be another way to do it. It may just take time and effort and more heat, or it may take a freaking cut-off tool of some sort and destroy the wheel. I'm not a huge fan of these. I'm going to go back to the stock steel and dog dishes anyway, but I'd really hate to go ahead and destroy a wheel just simply because it doesn't want to come off. And I'm relatively certain that the other front wheel is going to be the same way, because it's the same design, it's the same quasi-hub-centric that is on there. I don't know what kind of force they went ahead and used to put those wheels on, but I mean, I could throw a porta-power in there and I don't think it's going to go ahead and make any difference. And again, we're back to, okay, we're putting it under tension with a chain or a strap or some other device to go ahead and contain the force and put it against the hub rather than go ahead and anyway, like I said, I mean, whatever device I decide to go ahead and use is going to be under tension, and it's just a matter of how far I'm willing to go ahead and take it out here. And right now I think I've pretty much reached that point. I mean, I've gone ahead and I'm not using power tools. I'm using the hand handle on the jack, and I'll go ahead and crank it and let it set for a little bit, and I'll put another crank on it, let it set for a little bit. But that thing is under so much tension right now that I'm afraid of what will happen if it doesn't go ahead and break loose from the hub first. And I'm willing to bet that whatever's going to fail is not going to be the wheel breaking loose from the hub. At this point, I'm afraid that there's going to be another failure, and it's going to be catastrophic. So we shall see. I may come up with some other device or heavier chain or something, but at this point we are at a stopping place. Okay, well, as you can probably hear, the wind's kicked back up, and so far Jimmy's kicking my butt today. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to leave it under tension just to see if long term it won't go ahead and start to come loose. But at this point, I am literally stuck, as is the wheel. So if y'all have got a suggestion, besides hitting it harder with my purse, let's hear it. Give me an idea. I mean, I've already thought of going ahead and trying to saturate the thing with like white vinegar or something like that, just to break down the exfoliation corrosion between the aluminum and the steel wheel. It's pretty well bonded, but I don't know. I think maybe the fit of that wheel on the hub may have been a little bit snug anyway, and the tire shop just went ahead and went with it. I don't know. Again, this is just speculation. This truck was last on the road in 2016, so it's anybody's guess. Like I said, I can only go with what the seller told me. He was 100% honest with me as far as everything else went, so I doubt seriously that he's trying to conceal anything on this end of it. The tires themselves were new, but have aged out and dry rotted. And the south side that was facing the sun is the side that started to leak, and it's dry rotted around the sidewall, and it's garbage. The tires are no good. I'm not worried about that. I would just like to be able to get the wheel off without doing any additional damage. But you know, I can't take the hub off because the brake caliper's on the back side. I can't get the brake caliper off because the wheel's on. So, you know, I guess the only other real option, if you want to call it that, would be to go ahead and take the entire assembly off, which would be the steering knuckle at the control arms, along with the wheel and the spindle and the hub and the brake caliper and the caliper adapter. And, or well, actually there's not a caliper adapter on it. It's part of the spindle assembly. But you get my point. I mean, that would be an awful lot of disassembly just to go ahead and take a wheel off and I guess take it to a machine shop maybe and have them press it out. I don't know. It's crazy. So if y'all have ever run into this type of situation, suspension, and perhaps some additional heat will work. As it stands, I'm going to have the truck up on a jack stand anyway, so once it goes ahead and comes back down, it's not going to hurt anything. But the truck's not drivable right now, so I can't drive around with the lug nuts loose, hoping that it vibrates the wheel loose. So give me an idea, give me a thought, give me a shout, and we're calling it quits for now before I go ahead and lose a tooth or teeth or an eye or whatever else happens if the chain was to break. So I'll holler at you later. We'll see you. Bye. Y'all stay safe, be good.